But today what we'll talk about is what is an if statement and how do we use it? And what is it good for, right? But before we can talk about if statements, we have to talk about logical expressions. Sometimes they're called Booleans or Boolean or true-false expressions. So these are expressions whose answer is either true or false. It's either a 1 or a 0. Right? A 1 is true, a 0 is false. Right? So an example of a logical expression would be A less than B. That's a logical expression, and it can have a value to it, a truth value, right? It's either true or false. Is A less than B? Right? So has value of either true or false. And usually in these expressions, comparing two things, like the value of two numbers, for example. So if A is 5 and if B were 4, then the question, is A less than B? That's false. So in Matlab, when you have 1 by 1 arrays, or scalars, in other words, the comparison operators are the following, which you can see on your screen here. In particular, what's interesting here is that you have, if you want to ask if two numbers are equal to each other, the way you compare them is the double equal sign, or just type equals twice, right? Equals equals. A equals B. That's asking the question, is A equal to B? And the reason why you have to do it that way is if you say A equals B, that's telling Matlab something different. That's telling Matlab take the value of B and put it into the variable A. Right, that's assignment. Right, so this is the Boolean question, is A equal to B? In addition to that, some things that you'll have to remember, when you want greater or equal to, it's the greater sign, then the equal sign. Less or equal to, it's the less than sign, and then the equal sign. And if you want not equal to, you type your little tilde. So A tilde equals B. That means, is A not equal to B? So these, the double equal sign or the less than sign, etc., you want to think of these as operators. Just like the plus sign or minus sign is an operator, these signs are also operators. So, for example, you can take A plus B equals to 9, if A is 5 and B is 4, for example. And if A is 5 and B is 4, then A less than B equals false. Sorry, that's not MATLAB syntax, that's just me writing out something. Right? In MATLAB syntax, you would say A plus B and hit enter, and you would get the answer 9. Or A less than B, and then you'd hit enter, and it would say 0. Now, what's weird about this is, because these are operators, and it's kind of like asking a question, right? Is A less than B? And that has a value of false. You can store that value in a variable. So, for example, I can store the answer to this question here, is 5 equal to 7, I can store the value of that question in a variable, let's say TF. Right? So I can just go over to Matlab, and I can say TF equals to 5 equal 5 equal 7. And it tells me, no, the value of TF is 0. TF for like true false, right? So the value of this variable is 0. Now, if you have a vector or a matrix, so that's comparing two scalars, right? But if you have a vector or a matrix, these work element by element. So, for example, Hold on. Okay, example. Let u equal to, so in the variable u, we're going to store the row vector 1, 3, 9. Then the value of the question u equals 2 3 is itself a row vector of 3 elements: false, true, false. Because only the third element of only the second element of the row vector u was actually equal to 3. So when you have when you're trying to do these operations on vectors or matrices, you don't necessarily get the answer you were expecting. If you were expecting Matlab to say, is this whole thing, this row vector, is that whole thing equal to 3? Well, if that's the question, then the answer is no. It's just one single no. It's one single false. But what MATLAB thinks you're asking here is the first one equal to 3? No. Is the second one equal to 3? Yes. Is the third one equal to 3? No. So you probably don't need to see this in action, but you can ask the question, okay, so there's my u equals 1, 3, 9. Is u equal to 3? Answer is no, yes, no. And you can compare two row vectors. So for example, let v equal to 1, 4, 9. So if you want to compare whether two arrays are identical, is this whole thing, is all of u equal to 3? Or is all of u equal to this row vector v, which I just wrote down? Then you use the operator is equal, or the function is equal. So instead of u equals 3, if you wanted the question, ask that question, is the whole thing of u equal to 3? You say is equal u comma 3. And when you hit enter, it'll say no, u is not equal to 3. Not only are they not equal, but they're not even the same kind of variable. One is a 3-element row vector and the other one's a scalar, right? So they can't be equal. But maybe you didn't know that going into the question. Or I can do what I was saying before, and I can say v is equal to 1, 4, 9. Can you guys see the bottom of the screen from where you are? Yeah? Okay. V is equal to 1, 4, 9. And then I can say, is u equal v? And the answer is true, false, true. Because the 1 and the 9 are equal, but the middle one is not. I can say is equal u comma v. And the answer is no. Even though they're the same kind of variable, they're both 3-element row vectors, they're not identical to each other. So the answer is false. If you want to get into it a little bit deeper, there are a whole slew of functions like is equal. You can ask things like is real. So if you have a number, a scalar, and you want to know if it's a real number, maybe it's a complex number, right? So you want to know, is it a real number? There's a function called isReal. If you have a variable and you don't know if it's a scalar or a numerical variable, maybe it's a string or something else, you can ask the question, is numeric? You can ask if something is a scalar, ask whether it's a vector or a scalar, so is scalar, etc. Now, if you want to combine two statements, so if you're thinking about the plus symbol, you can say A plus B plus C. You can put a whole string of pluses together, right? But when you're doing logical statements, you can't say U equals V equals W. That doesn't make any sense in MATLAB, because these operators compare two variables to each other, and they give you a true or a false. And I guess you could try that. Well, I wonder what would happen if I did that. I never thought about that. So U equals V equals 3. It actually gives you an answer. But what does it even mean, right? You have to think about order of operations, etc. So usually when you're trying to combine two different kinds of questions, so U equals V or U equals 3, if you want to combine those two answers, you use the AND symbol or the OR symbol. And the AND symbol is like what you would expect, a little ampersand. And the OR symbol is this vertical bar, which you can usually find by hitting Shift and then hitting the key above your Enter key. That's that vertical bar. And those you would use if you're comparing two vectors. If you're comparing two scalars, then you can use the double ampersand, and, or the double or. And that MATLAB actually prefers that a little bit. I don't know why. It makes MATLAB a little bit happier. But it might not make your life any easier. It depends. So for example, let's say let W equal to the row vector false true, false. So you can actually do that. You can go into Matlab, and you can say W is equal to false, true, false. And then when I hit enter, it tells me W is 0, 1, 0. So why did I say false, true, false instead of just 0, 1, 0? Because it's a little bit weird. But this 0 here, the first element of W, that 0, it's not just a 0. It's a logical 0. It's a, how do you get that to go away? There we go. That 0 there is not just a 0. It's a logical 0. And what it means is that W is a logical variable. W itself can only take on two values, 1 or 0. So it's not like a continuum variable like you're used to seeing. Anyway, so we have this logical variable W. And if I want to compare W, which is 0, 1, 0, to the question, is U equal to V, you would do something like this. So U equals V, or W. And the answer is 1, 1, 1. Why is the answer 1, 1, 1? Well, U equals V is 1, 0, 1. W itself is 0, 1, 0. So if you ask the OR question, then you're asking element by element, is the first element of U equals V true or W true? Yes, one of those is true, at least one. So the answer is a true. And so that's what OR does. OR compares two things, and if at least one of them is true, then the answer is true. Conversely, if I say compare U equals V to and W, then none of them are both true. I didn't actually explain, I just realized I didn't explain what and OR actually do. I sort of accepted that you knew that. Maybe I should do that really quick because no one wants to raise their hand if they don't understand, right? So if you have a variable A, and let's say A is true, and you have a variable B, and let's say B is false, then A or B is true. Because what OR does is it looks into the two different values, and if at least one of them is true, then the answer is true. But A and B is false because the AND operation needs both of them to be true in order for the total answer to be true. All right, so that's sort of a crash course in logical statements. And you need that in order to get to if statements. Because in if statements, you have to employ logical statements. You have to ask logical questions and make Matlab choose different avenues of different sets of code to execute depending on what logical statement that you give it is true. So the way the if statement is set up is you type the word if, and then you give Matlab a conditional. So if a particular conditional is true, so if that first conditional is true, then do this. So if that first statement is true, you're going to execute that first block of code. If not, then try the next one. Try the next one. And so if that first statement that you gave it at the top is not true, then you can ask Matlab to try a second statement by typing else if and then giving Matlab another conditional. And so on and so forth. And so what you can have is you can have multiple things that you want Matlab to try. And the way you do that is by typing an else if and giving it more and more conditionals. And you can have as many else ifs as you want. You can have an infinite number of them, or you can have 0. You don't have to have any of them if you don't want. And then the last thing that you can say is you can say else, which is sort of like the default option. If none of the statements above are true, then this is the last thing that you'll do. Or this is the last, you'll definitely do that last one if none of the above statements are true. And you can have, so you don't have to have an else, so you can have 0. Oh my gosh, can have 1 or 0 of the else statements. And the last thing, you must end with an end. With this guy here. Must end with end. So this is a pretty powerful way to do things. You can cause Matlab to execute different sets of codes depending on the situation that you're in. And one thing to note, this is very important. As soon as one statement is true, starting from the top down, you stop looking for true statements. So for example, in your if statement, if your first conditional is true, even if the second conditional is also true in your first else if, Matlab won't even try it. It'll say, I've hit my first conditional, which is true. I'm going to execute that code and stop. Or stop searching through the if, else, if statements. So you need to make sure that the one that you want to execute for sure goes at the top.